Hello, and welcome to Gimmicky Tech, the series about underwhelming decks and their tech options that make them better, and this month, we're finally doing it. We overlap with a Vada video, as we cover my second favorite reptile archetype, Aliens. Aliens is an archetype I'm a silent fan of, and what I mean by that is I root for the deck on the sideline. I'm not exactly demanding support for the deck, but when it does happen, I'm very excited to play around with it, which did happen recently thanks to Dawn of Majesty bringing out two key cards to the deck's playstyle now, and it really made me have fun with the stuff. While Counters has not been used as, well, an archetype's whole entire gimmick since the ever, controversial Predapons, due to just how slow the mechanic is by nature of the game, as the meta has sped up over time, Ains can actually thrive without the mechanic quite well. But following the recent support putting a focus on, the counters again, I'm going to help you build your own version of counter aliens. But before we do that, it's time to cover the history of everyone's favorite archetype of Xenos. Aliens began their invasion on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta back in Power of the Duelist, which was also the set that gave us the new Spacian archetype. Then its successor followed in this set's footstep and shat all over the player base because that successor was Cyber Dark Impact. To give this set credit, it did introduce two key cards to the alien playstyle, unlike Cyber Dark Impact, which only gave the archetype two usable cards, which is now horribly, dated. The archetype would slowly have more good cards thrown at it over the GX era, but it wasn't until the Synchro era, Aliens got the powers it needed to go rogue thanks to Crimson Crisis giving them 3 stable cards, including their new boss monster. And then the archetype kind of just died out again after this set. They got like 2 more support cards in the Synchro era, but that's about it. Lucky for us, Pendulum Era was nice enough to give the deck a decent quick play, and then Postlink Era gave us a new boss monster to work with, ushering in a new era of throwing sticky purple blobs at people. So here's the lowdown. I'm going to spend this whole video explaining how to play counter aliens. You may wonder why I'm emphasizing the word counter, as it's a core part of the deck's playstyle. Well, there's 2 ways to play aliens, counter and combo. While both play very similar, as both rely on the counter mechanic to work, they have both very different goals in mind. Combo aliens make use of the deck's strong swarm cards and certain loops to make strong boards, while counter aliens aim to spread counters and hinder their opponent's ability to play. As much as I would love to cover both playstyles, I am far more comfortable covering counter aliens, and I honestly don't want to learn combo aliens deck building theory, but I'll put some insights into some of the combo alien cards when we get to them. I will also not be talking about the really bad cards here, since my goal is to teach you how to play the deck, not review it. If you want a full review, just go watch Vada. Now, with all the necessities done, let's analyze the tools that these invaders from outer space have to overtake the casual Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta. The first card I want to discuss is the key card to the alien strategy, and that's Alien Ammonite. It's the archetype's only tuner, but it's a really good tuner. It's level 1, so it's summonable by 1/1, and when it's normal summon, it reborns a level 4 or lower alien in your graveyard. In the Synchro era, this means an instant Synchro play, but in our era, that also means an instant Link 2, which we have a really good archetypal one for that, which we'll get to next. Alien Ammonite is a free off in every alien deck just because of its effect, and the effect, it's the only tuner the deck has, so you might as well run it at free. Moving on, we got Alien Shock Trooper and its upgraded link form, M-Frame. Both staples for their own reasons. Now, you may be wondering why is a level 4 normal monster a staple, and the keyword to this is Rescue Rabbit. While you would be using up your normal summon for the Rescue Rabbit enables King of the Feral Imps, which searches reptiles, and then it will search a card we will get to later, but then it enables you to go into M-Frame with ease. As for M-Frame, he looks bad, but he's actually quite useful. Being able to dump a monster from hand to distribute counters is very useful, but the second effect is what blows this card out of the water. Jumping the gun a bit here, Mysterious Triangle is a really good alien card. Being able to pop any monster with a counter to summon an alien from deck is good, but when paired with M-Frame, it becomes a swarm cannon. As long as your opponent has monsters with counters, the Link will summon as many reptiles in your graveyard as there are enemy monsters with counters, provided you do this going second into at least 2 monsters with counters, plus the monster given to you via triangle. That's a Link free, and the new Link free is effectively the new boss monster for the counter alien strategy. Now, I'm going to say this now, there's definitely downsides to this combo. 1. Rescue Rabbit takes up your normal summon just to make Feral Imp. 2. Shock Troopers being, a normal monster isn't that good for the deck. 3. It relies on you going second. 4. You need Mysterious Triangle for this combo to work. And 5. There's probably a more versatile combo for this, which is Alien Hypno. Now on the surface, it looks like a shitty Gemini monster, but when paired with Callous Field, it might as well be a free summon. Plus, you are normal summoning an alien. It can proc Alien Dog, which is another free body, and also more free counters. Hypno also fits well into counter aliens, a more control-focused playstyle, since it also doubles as a brainwashing beam, which is cool, but it's also a water type. And this archetype has another level 4 water archetype, which only means one thing.
Fight the power, constant, untouchable, break the unbreakable. Fight the power.
There's also one other way you can make Feral Imp combo with, but I'll save that for when we get to, cover the tech options properly. Let's get off this tangent and move on. Covering 2 more good level 4 options, Alien Buster and Alien Kid. Starting with Buster, since he's the newest card, it's a free off, mainly due to his dump effect, putting counters on cards, but also his graveyard effect is okay removal, another very slow way to pop your end frame if you want to. He has synergy with another alien spell, which we'll get to later as well. As for Kid, I like to run him at 1, and that's because, yes, he's incredibly useful, but he's also incredibly useless without setup. Pretty much, you don't want to draw this card when your goal is to make the new Link free, however, you do want to set him off the new Link free, which I'll explain why when we get to the Link free. The only thing you need to know is the fact this card puts counters on whatever your opponent summons, and when paired up with a couple other alien cards, becomes very dangerous. I run him at 1 for now, but feel free to max him out if you're going for a little bit more old school flavouring with your alien deck. Covering the last 2 main deck monster options, Alien Warrior and Alien Overlord. Let's get Overlord out of the way first, since he's the better option here. While he is a level 6, the man is very easy to summon now thanks to shit like Buster, and is the best option to slap counters on everything your opponent controls during your own turn. You want to run him at 2 since you kinda don't want to see him in your hand too often. As for Alien Warrior, he's a free off if you want more alien bodies to work with. If you aren't running Hunter for the play, Warrior is perfectly okay option, mainly because he carries the alien stat reduction effect. Nothing more, nothing less. Let's talk boss monsters now. If you're playing combo aliens, your goal is to make Cosmic Fortress Golgar, since he starts some interesting loop with another few cards, which we won't discuss. In counter aliens, he has his place due to his counter spreading, spot removal, and recycling a certain trap card, but you will probably run him at 1, since you can only make him, with Alien Ammonite. As for the real boss monster of counter aliens, we have Cosmic Pincer Ze'Loor, and you want to run him at 1. I like to run him at 2 though, just in case. I mean, this thing rolls Mars and Psychic into one package. He gives you a search of any card that places A counters, which means it searches Kid, and then it has to give you an extra normal summon, which is probably going to be Kid. While it may lack removal, being able to turn off a board is quite nice in itself. I'm glad Konami was actually able to design sensible support for the archetype, but Ze'Loor is a staple in any alien variation, just not counter aliens. In counter aliens, run him at 1 or 2. You run him at 1 if you want to save extra deck space. I like to run him 2 just in case the first one gets blown up. Moving on to spells, there's 3 of them I would consider running, and we've already covered Mysterious Triangle, so let's cover its counterpart, Code A Ancient Ruins. This continuous spell is a staple in combo aliens due to it being a soft once per turn, perfect for reborn loops in combo aliens. In counter aliens, it's still a good option to run for board building, but I personally would skip out on it. Doesn't mean it's bad though, so feel free to run it if you think it would fit into your version of counter aliens. As for the final one, A Cell Recombination Device is a mandatory free off. Quick A a quick play alien dumper who also spreads counters is already really good, and then you can bash it on the next turn to search an alien, even better. While I wish the search effect would be activated on the same turn it's sent to the graveyard, since it gives the deck some more, well, much needed consistency, but it's already pretty good at the place it is. Run it at 3. Moving into the trap lineup now, there's only 2 cards worth mentioning, so let's start with Planet Pollutant Virus, also known as Coronavirus in Yu-Gi-Oh card format. Now, this card is really just a backup plan due to how inconsistent the current alien combo is within pure aliens. This is a healthy alternative to that combo, since as long as you control an alien, this field nuke turned counter spreader will be live. I like to run it at 3, but if there ever comes out a way to more consistently summon Ze'Loor within pure aliens, drop this card. As for the other option, Brainwashing Beam. And I would say this is an optional free off. Do you have the space you need to fill? Do you have a sudden urge to ruin your friend's dumbass Fire Fist combo? Well, Brainwashing Beam is for you. This fancy little trap lets you steal a monster as long as it has A counters on it. And also, I think Golgar can abuse it. Don't quote me on that. If Brainwashing Beam doesn't do it for you, there's also Mass Hypnosis for mass stealing and Alien Brain for permanent control. Alien V seems to like the mind control gimmick. Shame it's a gimmick and not really a valid tactic these days, but feel free to play it anyway. We finally made it to the tech options, and I don't have much to add here. At best, I can give you insights on how to improve the deck's ability to slap a Ze'Loor onto the board. So let's start with the key part of the combo with Tillian Lamia. Now, Lamia here is either a 1-off or a 3-off, depending on how useful you want it to deem it in your deck. Personally, I like it at 1 due to the fact I can only use it for the combo, and it's searchable off of the King of Feral Imps. Of course, it's good at 3 if you rather use the Feral Imp search to find your other alien cards. But regardless, Lamia is a staple card for the Ze'Loor board, and unfortunately, there's no real good alternative for it if you want to go first. Or is there? Okay, I've been experimenting with a previous engine of mine, which you may be familiar with if you have been with the channel for a long time, since it's from one of my most popular videos on the channel, the Entity Engine. While its original purpose was to make it possible to turbo Azeroth on the first turn with 4 effects, I've been looking into retooling it into something to help enable the Ze'Loor combo. For this board, you need the following cards: 3 Resonator, 3 Predaplant Scorpio, 1 Predaplant Cobra, 1 Instant Fusion, 1 Mud Dragon, and 1 Old Entity Kafunga. I presume that's his name. I will now pass it off to Future Me to explain how this combo works. Hello, and thank you, Past Me, for segueing me into this. So, this is how the Entity Engine combo would work for aliens. Mainly just go for this. Excuse me, I just need to push my food out of the way. I ordered Subway while I was recording this, so yeah. Anyway, what you need to mainly start the combo is Red Resonator and Predaplant Scorpio in hand. So you want the normal summon Red Resonator, then Red Resonator goes ahead into Scorpio. Then Scorpio, ditch anything you want, preferably not the dog, mainly due to what we're going to be trying to do here. Summon the Cobra. Cobra here will now search the one of Instant Fusion. And I forgot to bring this card up as it's near for the Entity Engine. You need to make a Needle Fiber with... It doesn't matter which plant you use, as long as you use up the Red Resonator. Then Needle Fiber goes off. Needle Fiber, you want to get Alien Ammonite out. So then Alien Ammonite then makes Gafunga. Then you want to go Instant Fusion, Mud Dragon, and then you want to make King of the Feral Imps. Now, when you use Gafunga as material for an XYZ or Fusion Summon, you can draw a card off of him, which is really useful. Then King of the Feral Imp, doesn't matter which one you want to send to the graveyard, search out the Lamia. Now, here's where it gets messy. Lamia's effect can't activate due to the fact that, well, Needle Fiber here is not a reptile, and Lamia needs all monsters on the board to be reptile, including your opponent controlling a monster as well. So yeah, this card is kind of messy. This combo is incomplete, but there's a possible workaround for this, which I will segue back into Past Me. So take away, Past Me. Thanks, Future Me. As Future Me has explained, this combo is kind of rough right now due to Lamia, but there's a workaround, and that's thanks to Abyss, and it's quite simple. Instead of Lamia, run 3 Nihil and 1 Curse. You may wonder why, but here's my reasoning. Nihil can dump Curse from deck, which is incredibly useful, but then Curse can then tribute Needle Fiber, so you can skip the Link 2 and go straight into Ze'Loor. What makes this better is the fact Nihil searches Abyss spells and traps on summon, and Curse can summon him back, so that's a free search of the new Abyss spell card, Snake Lily, which is a really good reptile support card in general. This is a way you can dump Alien Buster so you can summon Kid on your first turn. I like to run Snake Lily at 3 and any alien variation. Now addressing the other changes you can make to the engine, you can also run 1 Nihil to save on space. You can run a copy of Depths if you are maxing out on Snake Lily. And finally, if you want to make the combo even more consistent, run 3 offs of Lone Fire Blossom and Resonator Call for, obvious reasons. Now I'm just going to flash up some of the deck lists for each deck having a variation of the Ze'Loor building combo. They all have their own benefits, but I would recommend the Entity variation. Also, if you're planning to use the Hypno variation, feel free to use Dimia Symphysis to search out your Callous Field over Terraforming due to the fact it's not limited. That's all I got to add here for the deck builder options. Aliens have a lot of problems. It's a deck that wants to go first, but most of its tools work best when it goes second. It's strong going second, but it's also very fragile when it wants to go second, so it very easily dies to negate midway its combo. While the retooled Entity engine solves the going first problem, it's still fragile and somewhat inconsistent if you aren't willing to take out more of the toolbox options in order to fit in consistency options. I would like to see aliens be able to summon Ze'Loor without so much outside support, but I think Ze'Loor and Buster will be the only alien support cards we will be seeing in this era of Yu-Gi-Oh! The tools they have now is quite good though, so I would encourage people to try them out. And now with Alien's problem solved, I wonder what deck Konami will fix now. I'm just hoping it's not Gustos. Fuck! So, hello, welcome to the end of the Alien video. I'm surprised you made it through after I insulted Gusto at the end there, but it's fine. There's gonna be more of that coming up in my newest script. So yeah, this video actually, it started off slow in terms of script writing, but I was able to finish the script last night, and then today I went from literally recording it to straight into just editing it immediately, and I got it done. It's amazing what a human being is able to do when they want to escape their problems. But yeah, we got it done. So anyway, let's talk about the next 2 videos. I'm planning to do, well, I was originally planning to do Ritual Beast. Then I was going to do Senju's. But then, well, one of my side projects was eventually to talk about Gustos, but that new Gusto support really just made me hate myself and Gustos even more. The fact that this support alone has actually made me wanna play Gusto just to see if they actually have something redeemable about them. Okay, fine. We'll talk about Gustos. We'll do it. We'll talk about Gustos, but not now. Ritual Beast comes first. I think Ritual Beast has to be the setup before we go into Gustos. So, yeah, Ritual Beast video. It's actually nearly done. There's really not much a lot to talk about in terms of tech options. It's mainly because Ritual Beast is one of those archetypes where the archetype already has a lot of good tools, but I feel like a lot of people don't acknowledge them So I wanted to mainly focus on the tools that Archetype Bay has rather than the outside tools. It's not like Aliens where they need a lot of outside support. In the case of Ritual Beast, I only need a couple cards. So the Ritual Beast script should be done very soon. It might come out later this month. Don't quote me on that. It's been very messy around the house right now, so who knows? It might come out next month. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you do like the fact that I make these videos, it would help me if you did. Join the Patreon. Wow, I still don't feel comfortable showing it. I still don't feel comfortable having a Patreon, to be honest. But if you do like what I do, please show me support for not only subbing, but also consider dropping $1 off in the Patreon. I do like the postings there. Like if I see people putting money onto the Patreon, it just makes me feel a bit better about having it, and actually helps me be more incentive to put more content onto the Patreon because it feels like I'm putting up content for no one at this point. But yeah, I also hope you like the new banner. I put some work into it. My friend Chewy is also going to be adding some more pieces. Some of the pieces from the old banners here too. I add them in. I really like that. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. I hope you're looking forward to Vigil Beast. I have a lot of scripts down the line now because I just had like this massive brainwave in the concept of like in the content of like 1 week. So now I have all like these intros fitting up for scripts, and there's even intros for scripts I haven't written stuck in my head still. I still haven't done the Gisenju script, but I started the Perform Power one, so yeah, this is gonna be fun. And here I was thinking I would struggle to find content for Gimmicky Tech videos. I at least got enough for at least the rest of the year. So yeah, thank you, thank you for watching these videos. And I'll see you when we cover Virtual Beasts. Bye then.